Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Frostbite tribe. In the last episode, we rescued our very first prehistoric creature from a block of ice, and her name just so happened to resemble our goddess of war. So clearly there is some sort of connection between Meme and Meme. Though she's not really a warrior, I don't think there's much of a way that we can spin it to say that maybe she was like the strongest in her tribe because she only has a 1 in attack strength. So I think maybe it's more likely that she was one of the first leaders of her timeline. Maybe she was somebody who was very highly looked up to and respected, or maybe she even brought all of these digging trunk critters over to the mountainside, just like Anna Ismie did for us. Either way though, she is already making her mark on our own tribe because she has started a family with our original Warrior of the Frost, Squall. So her children are definitely going to have Meme's blessing added onto them, just like this little baby in the nest already with his poison fangs and his big claw. He almost looks like a perfect 50-50 mix too of his parents, which I think is absolutely adorable. He has his mother's dark fur and his father's fiery mane, and he definitely looks like somebody who is going to want to charge his way right up the mountainside and see what he can discover along with all of the rest of our little critters. So for their babies, you guys really seemed interested in seeing their line named after, I guess, just prehistoric things in general. So one of the most popular suggestions for him was actually Saber, which I thought was particularly fitting because Meme is probably feeling very, very confused right now, to say the least. All of the things that she knew about the world around her before she was encased in the ice is just completely different now. So maybe in a way she's connecting these poison fangs that she's never seen before to the saber-toothed creatures that she used to know. Maybe that's actually why she took such a liking to Squall so soon, because those big fangs remind her just a little bit of her old home. I would like to give her line a special combination of gems too, just to kind of mark it off from all of our different creatures. We are going to want to keep track of which babies have that digging trunk inside their genetics after all, so I thought for her it would probably be fitting to maybe surround her a middle green gem in blue, just like how we found her encased inside that ice. So all of her descendants can take on the same gem combination, and it will also fall right into line with their father's blue gems that marks him as a warrior. So he's going to stay right by Meme's side, I think, and in fact I would like them to maybe have another baby before they think about going up the mountainside themselves. I think Meme is definitely going to want to follow her nose and find some more roots to dig up pretty soon, and maybe even teach her children how to dig up roots too. Luckily, Saber does have one of those digging paws, so he'll be able to help out, but I do want to make sure that their babies have the big body that their father has instead of the normal body that their mother has. So let's make sure that that's in the mutation menu. We'll put the big body in the 30% slot, and then the other one should probably be the medium tail, because we do know that that'll give us just a little bit of an extra boost of cold resistance. And I would imagine pretty soon we're probably going to see it get pretty cold up here. I mean, we've been on the mountainside for a very long time, and so far, aside from those wandering males and aside from this bird in our skies now, it has been very, very quiet and very calm. So let's have them have another baby now. We'll have Squall go ahead and breed with her. And let's see, that one failed, so if we try it again, I think it worked that time. There we go. We do need Meme to stay right next to her baby since the bird has returned to our skies after a very, very long time. It heard the calls of an ancient baby and it's looking for a snack, so why don't you actually build another nest right over here? We could go ahead and swipe up some of the old nests pretty soon too. We're going to have Rosette teach her little daughter Sairi how to pick all of these berries, because I think a lot of these creatures are going to start going up the mountainside just like our current expedition group up here. We have Tundra leading Strawberry and Kirnuta to some of the highest peaks. They're going to try to get a lay of the land up here and figure out what resources are at their disposal and where they need to go to collect food too. We should probably bring some of our crackerjaw creatures or some of our nimble-fingered gatherers down to the other trees on the other side of the island, because that'll give us that extra bit of food that we'll really need to last us through that harsh winter. So let's have Kirnuta kind of skip over this way to see if he can find any bunnies. We have lots and lots of bunny burrows over on this side of the island and a ton of those patches of clover too. So I would imagine this would probably be a pretty good place for the bunnies to set up camp. And in fact, let's sniff around a little bit. Let's listen. I see one way down here, actually. We have one right next to you, Cloud, so maybe you could jump in here and try to grab it? I mean, we have it kind of pinned. Maybe if your daughter could scoot up here too. There we go. We scared the bunny right into your trap, and you can go ahead and gather up the meat for us. Now we can head back over here and have Rosette pick from some of these very shriveled up berry bushes because unfortunately, our god of the harvest is not too pleased with us. He has felt very, very neglected lately since our tribe does tend to favor Animeme, but hopefully we can get back on his good side pretty soon. We'll have to figure out a way to maybe appease him so that we don't have to worry about all of our berry bushes dying off. But let's see, we could move Sairi right over here if we wanted to. And then we could make Rosette pick up this old shriveled up nest since we won't really be needing that anymore. She could also pick up some of the grass too just to get that extra material, though for the most part we'll be using these little twig bushes to gather up the material for the new nests. Now poor little Dandelion came all the way over here to get away from all of the troubles over on this side of the island, but I feel like at this point he's starting to think that like maybe the trouble is following him. He did have that other rogue male to deal with, so maybe he's still looking for a safe place to call home. This would actually be a good time for him to maybe seek out Strawberry again. They met very, very briefly when they were leaving for this island, and they did find it strange that they looked so similar to each other. It was a little bit of an awkward meeting, but I think they really did enjoy each other's company, and it might remind him of those quieter days when they were in the grasslands, so I think he's going to make his way up the mountainside and see if he can find her. If he goes around this way, he might be able to, oh my goodness, bring out the bunnies, but unfortunately we don't have any energy over here except for you, Kirnuta, though unfortunately you only have a 1 turn left, so maybe we could move him like over here instead, just to light up this area a little bit more. But you, Dandelion, you could actually settle right next to little Tundra. I'm sure she would enjoy the company too, and now we have Strawberry right up here, so you can talk to her and see where she's heading off to. Let's have Tundra kind of toddle over this way too to light up the area just a little bit more, and there we go. There's one of those pesky bunnies. Strawberry, you could jump all the way over here and snatch this guy up for us for that extra food. Now I do see the bird wandering very, very close in the skies over here. I think Coco would be much more concerned about this than her son Rascal. I mean, the name aside, he just strikes me as somebody who would know no fear, so let's have him zip over this way to try to find some bunnies of his own. He should be safe because he does have 2 gems now, so we shouldn't have to worry about the bird, even though it is circling a little bit close. And for that reason, Coco is not going to be far behind, so let's move her right over here so she can pick some of the berries and maybe clear out some of that grass. And then Rascal can scoot a little bit deeper into the grass himself to try to find some more food for his mother. So far though, it seems like most of our bunnies are probably up on the mountainside. Let's see if we have any more out here that we can hear or smell. No, I think we have all of the ones that we can see at the moment, so we're just going to have to scoot a little bit further out to get some more of those bunnies. I mean, I have a feeling, just judging by how many burrows are over on this side of the island, this place is probably completely consumed by bunnies right now. If there are any berry bushes in there, I'm sure there is not going to be a single berry left for us to eat. Now, all we have left to do is move poor little Kirvan, who is one of the newest additions to our tribe. We kind of figured that maybe he was one of the offspring of the wandering males because he does look very, very similar. Now, he's not really meant to be a gatherer. He can only pick up 1 berry at a time, and he's not really suited for the life of a warrior either. So I think at this point, he just really wants to prove himself. He wants to prove to this tribe who has taken him in that he can actually fend for himself and benefit them too. So we'll have him maybe go after, let's see, we'll have him go after Dandelion because he did just see him scoot up the mountainside, though because he has those short-sighted eyes, that's going to be a little bit difficult for him. So it'll take him a few turns to get to wherever Dandelion has wandered off to, but I suppose for now we can skip the day because that's all of the turns that we can make, and we can see what Meme's second little baby is going to look like, as we have apparently a little Crabbit visitor down here too. Oh my gosh, you look almost exactly like your father! How adorable is that? He managed to inherit his mother's velvet paw too, so he is going to be a very, very sneaky little warrior. He also has the big body, so he's going to be much more suited to the harsh landscapes up in the mountains. Oh my gosh, he is so cute too. I think we'll name him a Dire after the dire wolf, so that kind of goes right alongside his brother Saber. I think they're going to make quite the pair, just storming all around the mountainside. Oh my goodness, looking for these bunnies. There we go. Let's have Strawberry jump over here and grab yet another one of the bunnies for us. and we do want to make sure that all of our babies are safe yet again, because that bird is swooping very, very close. In fact, let's move Saber right here so he's in between both of his parents, and then I think we'll have Meme maybe gather up this nest right here, because I would like her to take her family up the mountain so she can teach them how to dig for food. Now, Dyer is not going to be able to dig up any food himself, but he will be able to grab those bunnies, so maybe his father actually could teach him the ways of hunting while their mother takes over for Saber. For now, at least, she is content to munch on some of her berries, so we'll have her go ahead and gather up some of those. And then we might as well sniff around too before we do anything else, just to make sure that we don't have any massive dangers waiting for us off in the grass. So far, I just see a couple bunnies down here, actually, so maybe we could have Kirnuta scoot right over this way. Oh, the bunny's too quick. Really, little guy? You are in the hot spring? Well, I guess the bunny was feeling a little bit cold, but I don't think that's going to help. His tiny little ears are barely peeking out of the water. Oh my goodness. Don't drown yourself, little bunny. We definitely want to snack on you, actually. If we have him jump into the hot spring instead, then you could actually grab the bunny while you're keeping warm in the hot spring yourself. So now Kirnuta has a little snack for his bath. We'll have to remember that that's actually there. And let's see, do we have the other bunny out here too? I know there was one over here by Strawberry. It looks like we have some moles over here, but otherwise most of the other creatures have kind of skittered away. Oh, Tundra has her final gem though. Look at that, you are all grown up just like your big brother. I actually figured that maybe we could give them those special leader gems since they are basically the leaders of the tribe right now. I feel like Squall and Tundra would definitely take control of the island together. They would lead it together, especially now that Tundra is kind of leading some of the creatures to the other side of the island. So she can help the creatures on the back side over here, the ones who decided to follow her, and we'll give her her special combination of green and orange and blue. We should probably change her over to an alpha too, an official alpha, so that she'll be able to eat first, which will be particularly beneficial since she is one of our strongest warriors, so we won't have to worry about them maybe starving while they're trying to battle all of the nasty dangers on the mountainside. Now you guys, how are you doing over here? Let's make sure that nothing is trying to stalk around here to get you. So far so good, so Rascal, why don't you scoot a little bit further down the shore? We could actually have him come over this way to some of the clover patches. Oh, look at that, that one disappeared. It seems to still be there. I wonder if, maybe the bunnies just ate away at it and it's not there anymore. So there is supposed to be a clover patch here, but the bunnies are very, very hungry apparently. So this is probably a pretty good spot for you to set up camp, Rascal, if you are hoping to gather up some more food for your mother. For now, she can go ahead and gather up the berries right over here. She could peek in some more of this grass so nothing else can spawn in that location. And Mr. Dodomingo is back. We did get rid of your nest, so I'm sure you're very, very upset with us. Unfortunately, Leo is not going to be able to help you though. He's just picking up all of his acorns. We could have him pick up some of the grass too. And I think that's it for this side. We just have this bird, this very, very persistent bird eyeing up Rascal. So far so good though. It hasn't tried to attack anyone, so we'll just keep a close eye on that, I suppose. Now let's have you, poor little Kirvan, continue clawing your way up here. Oh, wait a second. We have another bunny over here. Let's have Cloud jump on you and grab the bunny too. You are becoming one of our most efficient hunters on this entire island, aren't you? She's already gathered up quite a few of those bunnies, thanks to Faith's help too. Her daughter does seem to prefer just picking up the acorns though, which makes sense because she does have that giant stinky tail, which of course reminds me so much of the squirrels. So let's go ahead and have her pick up this little acorn right here, and I suppose she could knock down some more for later. Look at all those. She is going to need a little bit of help over here to make sure that we can gather up all of the food properly, but we're going to have to wait until maybe one of our crackerjaw babies or our nimble-fingered babies aren't busy, because I think Sairi is going to stay right here to scoop up all of the berries in the area. We should probably actually think about bringing Coco to one of the healing fruits, since she did take a little bit of damage thanks to all of those leeches, those awful leeches that we had to deal with very early on. Now Kirvan, you have finally made it up to the very tippity top of the mountains, though unfortunately it doesn't look like there's very much to hunt up here right now. Dandelion is definitely pleased that he hasn't had to deal with any major dangers up here though, so it seems like the danger has not followed him all the way up the mountainside, though the bunnies certainly have. Unfortunately, Tundra is just a little bit too slow to catch up to that bunny. She is definitely more suited to taking care of the carnivores if we happen to run into any of those. But for now, we could have her maybe help Dandelion get down to this tree. And in fact, if he scoots right over here, then we should be able to see a whole bunch of new land right around the area. Thankfully, nothing dangerous has popped out just yet, so let's have Tundra scoot over to this side, so she's right in between both a Dandelion and Strawberry, and they could probably keep each other warm too. If we travel in these packs of creatures, then we shouldn't have to worry about anyone freezing once it does start to get cold. And in fact, I think we're just about out of turns here, so let's have Sairi come right over here next to her mother, and then we'll zoom out and skip the day so we can make sure that nothing comes jumping out at our critters. Well, I think I heard a ton of bunnies spawn. We have one right over here that we'll definitely have to have somebody take care of. Let's go back here to make sure that there's nothing we have to sniff out maybe. Let's make sure there's no dangers in the grass, no wandering males in particular. So far so good, so let's just go ahead and grab this bunny right in front of us before it hops away, or before it steals our berries even, because we do still have a couple of berries on this bush. Now how about you, Rascal? Let's have you come over here to some of these different patches of clovers. And yeah, look at that, this one actually came back, so the bunnies must have just munched that away until there was absolutely nothing left. Now since Meme's children are starting to get older, maybe this would be a good time for them to start bringing them up the side of the mountain. So we'll go ahead and give Saber one of his very first colored gems, and then we can do the same for Dyer actually, because he can change his first one to blue. And then we want you guys to start making your way right after your father. We could have Saber go a little bit further away from his mother since he does have 2 gems now, but Dyer is going to have to stay very, very close, or rather Meme is going to have to stay very close to Dyer. So let's have her pick up her old nest, and then she could scoot right up here in between her babies, and then we'll have her stay right there just so that everybody is perfectly safe. And meanwhile, Squall is going to just clear the path for them to make sure there's nothing in their way. He's going to be very, very careful to make sure that nothing is going to harm his babies, of course. We'll have him scoot right up next to this rock, and that should clear the pathway not only for Meme, but also for you, Kirvan, because you have been separated again. Poor little Kirvan, he's trying his best, but honestly, most of our creatures are not too concerned with him, it seems, so let's have him just keep scooting his way right on in their trail. If only he could find like a hidden bunny burrow or some sort of secret resource that would really help him gain the trust of all of our creatures. Hopefully he'll be able to prove himself, but for now, Kirnuta, you might as well pick up your bunny meat. You are having the time of your life over here inside this hot springs, aren't you? So you can munch on that, and then let's have him jump on this log right over here. Oh my gosh, you found the hidden bunny nest. Okay, so at least we could have Cloud maybe jump up here to try to grab some of these bunnies. Yeah, look how fast she is. Whoa, she could really scoot all the way up there. Now unfortunately her daughter is way more interested in all of these acorns down here, so she'll just pick her berries, she'll pick her acorns, and then somebody else is going to have to go after these bunnies. It looks like this one has hopped just a little bit too close to Strawberry, so let's have you jump over here and grab this one up for us. And then I think the others are too far away from Dandelion to deal with, but honestly, he is far more interested in the tree down here instead. So I think Tundra will keep leading him down this way. She wants to make sure that nothing is in the grass that might hurt him after all, so he could jump right up here. Oh my gosh, another healing fruit. Really, Dandelion? Really, you managed to find another one for us. Well, very, very good. I'm not going to complain. We could have Tundra come over here now and just clear out a little bit more of this grass. And I think I saw a bunny over there. Oh yes, I definitely did. Okay, so you're probably going to munch away at all of the berries right in this area, but at least it can't steal our healing fruit. There's no reason for the bunny to go after that one, so that should be perfectly safe. Sairi can go ahead and pick up the berries again. We might actually want to have her mother come over this way to, oh my goodness, pick up this berry instead, though that bunny is eyeing up all of our bushes at this point. Unfortunately, Sairi is not going to have enough energy to take care of the bunny unless it hops a little bit too close. Unless it goes like right here, but I don't think it will because it doesn't look like we have any berries for it. Now, you don't have any roots to dig up in the area, do you? No, it doesn't look like she has any roots that she can dig right here, so she's just going to stay right there next to all of her babies. And then we just have you over here too, little Leo, who needs to grab up his acorns as well. There we go, and I think that's all of the turns yet again that we can make for today. So why don't we go ahead and skip the day after we zoom out, of course, to make sure that nothing comes out at us. And it looks like it might finally be getting cold here too. The whole screen has gone blue, and it is looking very, very very chilly. So the temperature on the mountainside has dropped, a cold wind blows over the land, and that means that some of our creatures with a little bit less cold resistance are actually going to find it harder to move around. So that's why we want to make sure that they're kind of packed together so that they can keep each other warm. Strawberry in particular with her spiky body, and then Kirvan back here too with his normal body are going to have a little bit of trouble going on. Though thankfully, because Meme has so many little adorable children keeping her warm, she doesn't have to worry too much. Even though she does have the medium body, she is already warmed up by all of her babies, so she is nice and safe. So now that both of her babies have their 2 gems, they don't have to worry so much about the birds, so let's have her scoot way up here right next to her mate. And for that matter, why don't we make sure that they breed too, just in case there are any of those wandering males kind of roaming the territory. First things first though, Cloud does have yet another bunny to grab, so jump over here and grab up this bunny for us. There we go. And then I think we could have maybe Kirnuta come down here and grab this bunny meat instead. They are definitely some of our best hunters right now, so maybe they can sit here and swap techniques or something. Not only that, but they both have the fishing tails too, so they could even come over to the stream and grab some fish if we could only find them. I think this stream is actually completely bare of fish. It doesn't even seem like it has any of those little like kelp patches where they would spawn, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find any fish in our streams, but it was a good shot and we do still have our bunnies. Now let's make sure that we breed Meme now before we forget about that. It looks like that one worked right away, so we just need to find her a good place to settle down where she definitely has some roots to pick up. There's a lot of roots over here, I think, some up here too at the very tippity top, so maybe we'll move her over toward this nest. We have a permanent nest right over here by the water side actually. She might enjoy spending a little bit of time by the water. First we'll have her babies catch up though. We don't want to leave them behind, especially because this family is going to be a little bit slower since they don't really have any running legs. The colder weather means that it's probably going to start snowing pretty soon too, so we might actually want to make sure that like Faith is gathering up all of the acorns that she can, because we are going to need the extra food. Maybe if she comes around to the other side of the tree, it might be a little bit easier because we have these 2 acorns right here and we do still have this berry bush too to pick from. Now Sayuri, of course, you should pick up your berries and your mother should pick up hers. There we go, the few berries that we still have, which is a little bit unfortunate for this family because they really seem to prefer to eat their berries. I'm sure Vankier would be happy to hear that, but it doesn't seem like he's going to end this drought anytime soon. We'll have her move right up there and stay by her, oh my goodness, berry bush for now because we don't want these situations happening. Let's have Coco grab this bunny before it can steal any more of our delicious berries. And then Leo can go ahead and just gather up all of his acorns again. He has been doing a very good job gathering acorns, you do have to give him that. I wonder if he could find anyone to actually start a family with though. Unfortunately, a lot of these creatures do have the same immunity genes. Leo is actually exactly the same as Coco, so they certainly will not be starting a family anytime soon. And oh my goodness, Rascal, you have gotten out so far, haven't you? He's all grown up now too. Doesn't he look adorable? He looks like he is going to just run rampant all across the mountainside. Hopefully he's not going to cause too much trouble for his mother. He could hop up here though to just kind of try to scope out the area a little bit more. I think I saw something over here. That might have actually been a fish. Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to have some of our fishing-tailed creatures go up there then just to investigate. Maybe Kirnuta heard somebody call about a possible fish in the water, so we'll have him go right over here, right next to Kirvan actually. Poor Kirvan who's so cold. Oh my gosh. Let's have him try to find one of these hot springs to warm up in. There we go. He can sit right there and get nice and toasty warm, and of course we're going to want to do the same for Strawberry. She could actually move around this way and sit right inside this one instead. And we have so many bunnies moving all around the island right now. Oh my goodness. Maybe we should have Dandelion jump down here to grab this one. There we go. For some reason, that bunny did not suspect Dandelion to grab it up. Though I suppose he's not really interested in bunnies anyway, so maybe he looked a little bit more friendly than he was. I get the feeling that Tundra may have taken a little bit of a liking to Dandelion too, and maybe that's why she's still hanging around him, even though he's clearly safe over here, even though he has his healing fruit over here too. I mean, this is also a pretty good spot to start a family since we do have some medicine right nearby in case anyone gets hurt. So maybe in the next episode we'll see if they would like to start a little family of their own, especially since Squall is coming up the mountainside now with his big new family right behind him. I'm sure she is going to be very surprised to see her 2 new little nephews. We'll have to see if they can get there before it starts to snow though, because it's probably going to come down pretty soon since it's gotten so cold. Hopefully Anime won't leave them stranded at the very top of the mountain, but for now, thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!